guys. Why do I always keep on singing in the beginning when I could just pretty much just say, hello world. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Hello World with me, Joy, your home girl from around the way. Yes, I like being silly. There's nothing wrong with being silly. Life is way too short to be too serious. So we need to enjoy ourselves as much as we can, because when we don't, we will be lacing stress all in our hands. So yes, we need to be happy, whole, completely free with our lives, because it's a wonderful thing to be in the neighborhood with hello world and joy. Welcome guys, welcome to another episode. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm going to tell you all about my day in a minute, but I have to remind you guys to go on YouTube. You don't even have to be a member if you don't want to be. Just like, subscribe, share, turn on your notification bell. It's just that simple. Even if you don't want to follow the page, that's quite all right. You can watch, hit the discussion button, chat a little bit, or you can just tell other people about it. Hit that share link and give it to someone else. You have no idea how impactful we all can be with just sharing information that is positive and that is good and that is wholesome. And I try my best to be as positive, as good, and as wholesome as possible. And just a reminder, hello world is all about talking about life and life's circumstances, obstacles, and issues. And sometimes that might step on your toes a little bit, which is fine, because if things were perfect all the time, then where's the flavor and the color in life? Today I'm drinking my little elixir. It's banana and blueberries with some almond milk. I haven't had that in a few days because I've been eating a lot of other junk, such as juice, a little bit of soda here and there, ice cream, all of these things that really just make my tummy rumble, which is not a good thing. So definitely try to take care of your body. I'm so excited because this Sunday I'm going to be doing and filming another episode of the Our Lives Seen Through My Eyes. It's going to be super interesting. I know it is. I'm excited. I can't wait to air it. I can't wait to edit it so that you can see the finished product and learn something. Yes, learn something. So, how was your day, everyone? My day was super interesting. Oh, yeah, and I have my cookies. Yeah, I couldn't help it. I bought these yesterday and they're almost gone. And it's sad to say I didn't share much. This is my weakness. But it's not always an everyday weakness, so that's a good thing. So let's get all into it, right? So my day was amazing. Oh, it was amazing. Let me tell you. So it starts off from last night. I told you about last night how I wanted to give my dad a shout out because he helped fix a tire. Actually, the tire was low. I just thought it needed air, and he found a nail, so he fixed it. This morning when I wake up, I turn on my engine and it says my tire is 19. And the tire is supposed to be inflated to 35 PSI. So you must know how I felt when I woke up, got into my car, and saw it was at 19. So I just went ahead and said, hey, Dad, you still around? Because I just need a little bit more air in my tire. It's at 19. He was like, no, I'm all the way in Bridgewater or wherever he was heading off to. And so I said, okay, no problem. I said, no problem. It's not going to stop my day from being amazing and good. Now, mind you, having a flat tire first thing in the morning is a very stressful thing. If you are a driver, you know it's very stressful because you have no idea if you're going to go flat, or if you're going to have a tire explosion, mess up your rim, all of that other stuff. You have no idea. So I'm taking it like a champ and I'm excited. I'm just like, okay, no problem. So he said, go to somewhere, a gas station or something, and just put air in the tire. And I was like, okay, are you going to come to my job or do you want me to come home and you fix my tire? And he was like, I'll just call you when I'm done. I was like, okay, no problem. So, my dad is amazing. I just have to say that he will stop what he is doing and help me. And I think he can do that. I think he would do that for most people as well. So that is an amazing quality that we all should try to possess. And shout outs to you, Dad, for that. Um, and mind you, being that I know how giving he is and how helpful he is, I don't ever want to try to take advantage of that. So I try not to ask for anything too often, because I, I feel like me showing appreciation is not over using my card per se, my dad card per se. I don't care even if he's my parent or not. It doesn't matter. He's still a human being. And human beings have feelings as well. So anyway, back to the story. So I said, oh, I'm not taking a turnpike today. This is not happening. No way. No turnpike for me because, I can only imagine if my tire is at 19, I know with the turnpike, it takes about 5 minutes to get to my job from the turnpike. But I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm taking the local roads. So let's backtrack. I'm driving in Jersey City and I get to a known um, I get to a known gas station where I know they have to have air pump. So I put my dollar in and the air started. So I was like, okay, that air compressor, that air um, tire did not have a gauge. So it didn't tell me how much air was in my tire, what was being pumped in. It was just pumping air. So I said, the only thing I can do is compare the back tire to the front tire. So I said, I stood there for like 2, 3 minutes. I looked at the tire. I was like, okay, it looks about the same height. Soon as I took the air pump out, I closed up my thing. I hear hissing noises. I'm like, whatever. I'm pretending like I don't hear it. I said, that's not happening to me. So I drive out and, when I when I looked at the gauge, it's now saying that it's at 48 pounds. I said, oh Lord. I mean, I almost blew my tire up just pumping air in there. So I'm heading towards 1 and 9. And soon as I go down the hill, my tire goes from 48 to 35, then 35 to 32, 32 to 31. By the time I got to where Route 3 begins and 1 and 9 ends, I was at, let's say, 20 pounds. I said, ooh, 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 what am I going to do? So I still was taking it as a champion. So I was like, you know what? There's going to be a tire place. I know there's a few tire places that have to be around here. And there's one main one that I knew about because I pass it every day on the way back home. And so I said, I'll just stop there. I stopped there. They're not open. They like to tell me that they don't open until 8:30. I was like, okay. By now, guys, my tire pressure was at 10. 10. Remember, my tire pressure is supposed to be at 35 and it's at 10 and the 10 is red. So red means, girl, what you doing? You better put some air, fix me. So I go ahead and keep driving. And so I said, you know what? As soon as I pulled out that lot, I said, you know what? I'm gonna take this as a champ, and whatever happens, no matter what, I'm gonna have a good day, and I know everything's gonna be all right. God, you got me, universe, whatever. You guys got me. So I pull up to the next big intersection. I look to my left. I said, oh no. When I looked to my left, I saw a friend of mine. Now, mind you, this friend of mine, we kind of work in the same area. So, and remember, I never take local roads to work. I always take the turnpike. Um, so by this time, I'm not a morning person, and some of you know that, some of you don't know. In the morning, stay away from me. I mean, there's some things I've overcome, and that part of my life is still a work in progress. Um, so I bit down on my pride. I said, you know what? I'm already embarrassed. So I roll down my window and I look to my left and I start waving. She turns around. I was like, hey. And she was like, hi. We roll windows down. I was like, how are you? She said, I'm good. I said, my tire is flat. And she said, mine too. I was like, oh my goodness. Both of our tires had some issues going on. So I'm like, I'm trying to find somewhere to go. And she said, I know somewhere. I was like, I'm following you. Now my tire is now at 7. It went from 10 to 7. And it stayed steady at 7 all the way until we got to that tire place. And it's amazing. I get so excited because this whole scenario could have turned around. So while she's telling me that she has a tire issue, I was like, this is too ironic. I was like, maybe she just feels bad for me and is just saying it just to say it. And so we pull up to the tire place. Now, when I get out of my car, my tire is completely flat. It's flat, So I get out of the car and then I start talking to the guy. He only speaks Spanish. So I go inside and he's like, "Ooh, piquito English." I was like, "Oh." So when I come outside, I had no idea my friend could speak Spanish fluently. So she's speaking Spanish to him, and I'm like, okay, this day just got even better. So, long story short, I guess when I was putting the air in the tire, when I pumped it up to 48, I blew out the plug. So, the plug that my dad put in the night before was gone, completely gone. And so they fixed my tire. And then my friend, she had a huge nail sticking out of her tire. So this is the side of her tire, and this is the nail sticking right out of it. I said, wow, that is crazy. So her tire was worse off than mine. And so she was like, I'm gonna take an Uber to work. And I'm just like, man, maybe I should take an Uber too. And then he said, oh no, it's gonna be done in like 5 minutes. He finished my tire. I was like, you want me to take you to work? I take her to work. She literally works 5 minutes from me. Literally. And we always joke, like recently, we've joked about working so close together because, every once in a while after work, we'll meet up and have dinner or something like that just to, hang out and catch up. And it's just crazy. So the reason why my day was so amazing is because of that fact, because of the fact that I could have looked at this tire situation as something to be so sad about, to be worried about, to be worried about. And I did not worry about it. I said, I know everything's going to be all right. Whether I get to my job with a fully flat tire, I'm still going to get to my job. Somebody's going to help me and everything's going to be okay. I took that attitude to the door. And that's when I ran into my friend and everything was amazing. It was okay. So I say this to you guys. Whatever obstacle, short term or long term obstacle you may have, you can overcome it. Attitude is part of the forefront of how you overcome things. My attitude was on 100. And mind you, I usually open up the office at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays and Thursdays because that's just an early day. Well, usually that's a day we do surgeries and stuff. And I still got to work on time. Like, it's amazing just how your perspective and changing your perspective sometimes, or setting your perspective in a higher realm sometimes can change the course of your day, your moment, and other people's moments. Like, she didn't look like she was worried about her tire. I certainly didn't. I was just chipper and smiling. I mean, like, my smile was like this, even though I was like, I hate mornings, and I don't like talking to people in the mornings. I like that time to be just left alone. And I didn't mind, you know? Maybe if I didn't have that emergency going on, I probably wouldn't have said anything to her, and I would just been going on in my little routine. But that's another thing. There was no routine today. There was no routine today. I just went with the flow of life. I knew I was going to be protected no matter what, because I said so and because I believe so. And I did not let this challenge define me, and how the challenge was going to set the tone of my day. Because, in all seriousness, this was a very serious situation. Driving on a flat tire is something that is never recommended to do. It's never a good thing to do, because a lot of things could happen that you could hurt yourself, you can hurt other people. But I believed that everything was going to be all right. And I was taking precaution as well. I had my hazards on, and I didn't go past a certain mileage, because I wanted to be extra safe. But I was doing my due diligence, but I also went with the flow of life. You can overcome anything, guys. I believe this story happened just so I could give someone encouragement that things will always be okay. It will be. You just got to set yourself up to not allowing stress to interfere with the flow of life. So today was an amazing day. It was amazing. It was amazing. And if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't want to. But if it felt around the same way, where I literally, this was her car, this was my car, pulled up to the light, we were facing each other. Her car, my car. We faced each other. Okay. And we stopped at the same traffic light. It could have happened any other way, guys. She could have been behind me. She could have been two cars ahead of me. No, but we ended up being in the same position. She ended up helping me out. When I said that I was gonna get help, help came. I didn't know how that was gonna happen. I had all these ideas of what would normally happen, but help came. So, guys, it doesn't matter what your situation is. It could be the worst situation. I'm sure there are more situations that are worse than mine going on right now. I understand, I do. But put your perspective into something a little bit more positive, with believing that the outcome is going to be great, or believing that no matter how the outcome is, you will be fine. Trust and believe your outcome will be what you expect. I expect it to be taken care of. I expect it to be protected. I expect it to be fine. And those are the things that happened for me this morning. I didn't worry about whether I was going to be late. I didn't worry about whether um, I was going to, you know, uh, break something in my car. I wasn't worried. Those were not the thoughts that were entering my mind. It was not important for me to think about all of the bad things that could have happened, because I was too focused on knowing that everything was going to be all right, because it always has been, always will be. Whoever you believe in, whether it's God, the universe, Buddha, whatever it is. Hey, how are you? Welcome to Hello World. Whoever you are, whatever is going on in your life, it does not matter. Everything will be okay. You can overcome anything if you put your mind to it. My example was a real life example that happened this morning. And that that was like one of the best things that could have happened to me and for me. Fast backtrack maybe a year or two before, I probably would have been blaming my dad. Like, why would he not fix this tire properly? He messed me up. Why isn't he around when I need him? Or why did this happen to me? What does this mean? I want to throw my car away, blah, blah. No, those were not the thoughts. My dad did help me, but I was the one that maybe did not gauge it properly and blew my own thing. But here is the caveat: I got to the destination safely. No one was hurt. Not myself, not another car, not another a fellow driver. Nobody was hurt. We all got to our destinations in a however we got to our destination, but we got there safely. Did I have to take some detours today? Yes, I did. But I guarantee you, those detours made such a good impact in my life. It stayed with me. It stays with me. And I'm so happy. Like, I have no reason to be upset because everything, the way it fell out, the way it came out, it was amazing. Yes, he does. He has your back too, my sis. Yes, he does. Hey, hip hop. I mean, no, hip flopping. How are you? Welcome to Hello World. Tonight we are talking about overcoming and how we can overcome any life obstacle. I mean, there's people who have health issues. Oh, hip hopping. Okay, my bad, my bad. Um, we all have like okay, if you wanna ask me again, okay, listen. So I had a health scare once before. Hey, mama. I had a health scare before, a couple years back. And was I stressed out and worried? I was worried because I wanted to die without being cut. That was my biggest worry, right? But more importantly, I didn't want to have pain. So when the doctor told me that he had a new procedure, a way of doing the procedure where I wouldn't have pain, I said, "Okay, I'm going for that." That was my only prayer was I don't want to have pain. That's it. The procedure went off fine. He said I didn't even bleed much. He said everything was amazing. I did fine. I recovered great. I mean, like, I spent the night in the hospital, and while I was there, I couldn't sleep. But I did overhear the nurses at the nurses station because I was sitting there. They said, "You know, that girl in that room, she is so nice." And with the procedure that I had, usually you're in pain. But they said that she's so nice. She's saying thank you. She's so grateful. Like I just said, what's the point of being angry at people when they're there to help me? And I remember those things. And yes, it was a scary situation. And I'm thankful that I will never have to have surgery. I'm already talking it into existence. I will never have to have surgery again. And no matter what happens in this life, I don't want to have that surgery again. But here's the thing. The next day, the pain management nurse came on, or doctor, whatever you want to call. She said on a scale of 1 to 10, well, how was your pain? I said 0. She said, I said, for real, 0? I said, yeah, I don't feel anything. But I will tell you, when I got home, the only pain I felt was when I laughed or coughed. And that's when I was like, oh, that's the pain you're talking about. So, I like to laugh most times, but I refrained for that first week. And the coolest thing too is that usually with the procedure I had, I'm not supposed to be able to drive for 6 weeks, but I was back to work that next week and I was back to driving that next week. So made up in my mind that he told me that the surgery was not going to be painful. So that was the mindset that I went at. I'm not going to have pain, and that was it. And that's what happened, guys. So you can overcome anything. Absolutely anything you can overcome. Don't let anybody or any particular circumstance tell you differently. Never, never let anything tell you you cannot overcome because that's just a lie. Listen, you made it out the womb. You made it out of your mother's womb and you are alive to this day. How you decide to operate in your day and in your life is up to you. You can choose to be upset, you can choose to be happy. And the reason why I feel like it is a choice is yes, sometimes we're presented with things that we don't want to hear, but at the end of the day, we have to process those things and try to overcome them and find the lighter side of things. And will it take time to do that? I believe so. I believe everything takes time. It's not perfect. I'm not perfect. For me to be where I am right now, where I truly believe that I'm in a better place, it takes practice, and frankly, I have to be surrounded by a lot of positive things all the time. I don't turn my TV on much because there's really nothing on the TV to encourage me. I watch a lot of law of attraction videos, I meditate, and I'm around people who are about that same thing. And when you believe that to be true, your life will be how whatever you believe. It is. If you believe you want to be down and out, guess what? You're going to be down and out until you decide that you're sick and tired of being down and out and being always last and being taken for granted of, or whatever the case may be. When you finally put your foot down and start taking control of your happiness, doors will open. They will open in ways that you could not have imagined. And another thing too, we have to focus on the fact that material possessions don't really amount to anything. This little thing called time, that is the most valuable thing. That is the most valuable asset, thing, commodity that we have. And nobody really talks about that often. You know what I mean? No one really talks about, you know what? I think that time is precious. Not too many people talk about that. But when you realize time is really more valuable than material possessions, you'll start to appreciate things more, whether you have a lot or a little. Do I have a lot? No. Do I have nearly as much as I would like? No. But I'm thankful for what I have now because I know eventually I will work my way up to whatever is for me, right? Sometimes we want to attain things that are beautiful. Like, let's just say you want $1 million. But what if you having $1 million turns you into like the most evil person in the world? What if you having $1 million turns you into someone who's going to be in debt for the rest of your life because you don't know how to manage anything? So if you really want to have $1 million, start managing what you have. If you can manage $10, then you'll be able to manage 20. Then it'll keep going more and more and more. Life is not going to give you something that you cannot handle. Same thing with God or whoever you believe. He's not going to give you more than you can handle. Why give you, all right, how about this? The gym. Why are you going to try to lift 500 pounds if you've never lifted a 2 pound barbell? It's ridiculous. It's the same thing with money or anything else. Life, love. How are you going to appreciate your husband or your wife or whoever if you've never been in a relationship, a healthy one? Why do you feel like you deserve to be in a beautiful relationship if you've never been in one, a healthy one, and have never treated someone right or have not been treated perfectly? How are you going to treat that? Oh, okay. Girl, don't you worry. I'll be praying for you. You're going to be doing just fine. Just keep in mind that you will be perfectly fine. However, the outcome will be, your body is going to take care of you. Start eating better. If you don't eat better, if you do eat good, then continue to do so. Check out Sunday. I'm going to do an interview with somebody that can maybe give you some health tips if you're interested. But I just I just believe that when it comes to love, like we all deserve love. Don't get me wrong. We all deserve love. And let's just say the love of your life comes when you're going through turmoil. How will you appreciate the love of your life if you don't know what love is? Right? So we have to heal and process things first, right? And if we can't heal from the things that have hurt us, why would we want to put ourselves in a position to mess up what is going to be the best thing of our lives? So, yes, it's okay. It's okay. And I think we promote too much getting in and out of relationships too fast, too often, and whatever. Some relationships should never happen. Some relationships should. But because we're in a society where we're insta everything, that's how it is. But it doesn't necessarily have to be true for you. So, in any event, when you are completely at a place in your life where you are ready to receive love, you are ready to be strong for the person that you will love. Because love is not just about the and the going out on dates, whatever. If you can't be strong enough for that person because you don't know the kind of uh, the kind of relationship you'll need to have. If you're not prepared with those things, how can you support your spouse? How can you support your spouse if you don't have the equipment? Do you long to be strong enough for somebody? Do you long to take care of them? Do they long to do the same things too? Because you want to be with someone who's like-minded. That right there will be the best love of your life. You won't need to practice with anyone else. You won't need to. And it goes the same way with your money. Have you started saving your quarters, your dimes, your dollars, your nickels? Do you think a penny is just a penny and you leave it? No, a penny makes a dollar, right? So why is it not as important as $100? True. All of our millionaire people, billionaire people, you honestly think that they over here splurging up a storm? When is the last time you heard of Oprah buying a Maserati or buying a Lamborghini? When have you heard that? She's a billionaire. The woman makes about $100,000 a minute. Okay. So their perspective isn't about the monetary things. Oprah is on some, I want to get in tune with myself. Having peace of mind is important, right? She loves her money. Oh, trust and believe. I'm pretty sure she would be upset if she missed a dollar, but that's not her primary motivation. When we know what our motivation is in life and actually operate in doing whatever we're motivated to do, then doors will open. I guarantee you, if my cable didn't turn off and try I pay my bill. It's not even the case. I think when I first got my cable on, the guy hooked me up or whatever. And so I was getting all the channels that any man could ever wish. But when that was gone, I said, well, there's no need for me to watch four channels because I'm used to watching every channel I want any time of day. So this is how Hello World began because I started investing my time in being with you guys. Because to me, it's important. Like the show is sometimes funny, sometimes airy, sometimes it's very deep, but the purpose is not just for us to come on here and chill out, laugh, whatever, and not take away something for our own lives. No, that's not my purpose. If my purpose was that just that alone, I'm pretty sure you would see me on mainstream TV. But no, my purpose is, and it helps me as well because I get a lot from our conversations. But my purpose is if I could help someone else or if someone else can help me to be the better person of me, Joy, then I am doing what I'm supposed to do. I constantly tell people every day, where's your vision board? Have you written your vision board? Because if you write in your vision board and you look at your vision board daily, you have no time to worry about much or have that unhealthy worry bother you. You have no time to allow stress to bother you because you're too busy working out all of the good things in life that you want. What is it? You want a house. You keep looking at that vision of your house. The doors will start opening for you to get a house. If you want a house, just make sure you make that house what you really want it to be. Maybe it's a year or two from now, but I guarantee you that house is going to look exactly, if not identical, to what you've been writing down and manifesting and looking at, praying about. Again, whatever, whoever you believe in, that will come true because you will start shifting into what it is that will prepare you to get that house. Maybe a promotion will open up. Maybe you'll get a second job. Maybe somebody will open a door and say, "Hey, I think I'm selling my house. Are you interested?" Look, sometimes life is like that. You have no idea. Remember what I said? I had a flat tire. I ended up running into a friend in the same lane. She was here. This was my car. I looked over to my left. She was sitting right there. Lo and behold, she had a tire issue too. We drove to the same spot that she went to. I drove her to work. My tires fixed, her tires fixed. It's that simple because I made it up in my mind that it's going to be okay. Point blank, that's it. Make up your minds to say that life will be okay no matter what. No matter what you're going through, life will be okay. If it's a surgery, life will be okay. I had surgery, scared to death. Life was okay. But I said to myself, and this is what I said to myself when I was there by myself in that room, while the nurse was taking my vitals and all that other stuff. I said, God, if it turns out that I end up with a terminal disease, then fine. So be it, but I know you have me. I made it up in my mind, like, yeah, like you you have no idea what could happen. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna be at peace with that, and that'll be okay. Would that be something I want to hear? Absolutely not. Would it be something that'd be challenging to go through? Absolutely. Would I be stressed out? In the beginning, yes. But everything was okay. And then I cried a little bit. And so she was like, don't cry. It's going to be okay. I was like, I know, but I've never had surgery before and I didn't want to get cut ever. I wanted to die with no cut. She's like, it's okay. I was like, all right. So, you know, while I was going to the operating room, this is all true story too. And I never shared this before, but while I was being wheeled to the operating room, every room that I passed, I made sure I smiled at every single patient that I was rolling by. And I said, hi. I don't know, maybe because I was nervous or whatever, but I felt like every chance we get, just drop little seeds of happiness. Because, whether you realize it or not, sometimes a smile could help brighten up someone's day, turn somebody's sorrows into happiness, for even if it's just for a moment. Wouldn't you want to be a part of that? Wouldn't you want to have a impact in someone's life like that? That's what I've been doing, is trying to focus on doing the right things. You go, girl. You keep it up. I'm here to support you 100. Um, and we all fall. We all fall short sometimes, and I fall short sometimes. But guess what? My bounce back is a lot faster. We're human. And sometimes our expectations are a little bit more than what we have, but it's okay. There's nothing wrong with expecting things, but it's okay when we fall short. We're human, and that's okay. A lot of times, I think, again, I was talking about this in a few episodes of before, but we use our dictionary words in the wrong context. For example, perfection. What in the world is perfection? Because I believe all of our perceptions are a little different from each other, right? So what I may think is perfect art, you may think is trash. But how do we measure what perfection is? So with that said, there's no such thing as perfection. What there is, though, is lasting memories and how we treat each other. That right there, I believe, is how we can measure what perfection is. When you can leave somebody with just pure, like, radiation in themselves, that's amazing. I went to the gym today, had my little workout, but before I went inside, there was a woman standing by the step. I turned around. She looked up, huffing and puffing. I smiled and I said, "Hello." She said, "Hi." We had a conversation. By the end of the conversation, she's thinking more about going to the gym. Whether she walks in or not doesn't matter, but I planted that seed. That's the point. I don't know how the rest of her day went or evening went, but who knows? It's not up to me to find out what's going on, but what is up to me is that at time and place to utilize it to the best of my ability to make or help this woman have a better day than what she's already having. Sometimes it doesn't even necessarily mean that somebody's having a bad day to make them feel good. So what? If I'm having an amazing day and somebody smiles at me, guess what? That's going to make my day even more bright because I remember, wow, my day was amazing, but I remember that person just made me even happier. You don't need to have a reason to be good. Just try to do it. And I feel like when you are doing it, the more you practice being good and doing good for others, the more your life will get better. And then who said money was worth more than a life experience? A good life experience? Because no one has ever come back to the grave successfully to tell me what happens afterwards, right? So this gift that we have, because life is a gift, this the air that we breathe, the lungs that we use, whether it's perfect or not, or operational or to its best potential, it doesn't matter. We still have air, right? We still have mobility. Some of us have limited mobility. Some of us have full mobility. But are you grateful for the mobility that you have? Are you? Do you take that stuff for granted? Because from what I remember, you can take a fall down your steps and that's it. You can stub your toe. Now you're in a cast. Limited mobility for a few weeks, right? But would you be grateful that it's just a cast and nothing more? No, thank you for joining me. That actually helps inspire me even more. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, when I see people in the chat and when I see people, you know, just live with me, that actually makes me feel even better. Nobody wants to do a show by themselves, you know? So like it's a give and take. But like honestly, the more you appreciate what little life we have, because some of us only get to live 70, 80 years. That's not a lot of time. And I believe most of the years that we live, we waste away because I haven't reached this point of happiness or whatever until I like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago. So all of that time before, I was just living, but I wasn't living to my potential. Now I'm living to my potential and towards my purpose. Like it's that simple. And who knows how many more years I have? Who knows? I don't know, but I guarantee you this much. When I die, I want to make sure that I died knowing that one, I helped as many people as I could. Two, I enjoyed life and I experienced and traveled. Three, I loved, inspired some kids, and just was remembered for helping people. Because if you watched the other episode last night or 2 nights ago when we were talking about legacy, I don't want my legacy to be like, oh yeah, Joy was a billionaire and she donated all of this. No, I want people to say, I knew Joy. And when I knew her, she helped me. Or I helped her when she was in her time of need. And that's an experience that I'll never forget. That's leaving a legacy. That's right. That's right. And people who don't read their Bible don't know that that's really what the source of the Bible is. It's teaching us about love. But we're too busy, sending each other to hell and damning each other all over the place. I do recall that God is the one that judges all, right? So where in the world do we have a reason to judge anyone else? And also, there's another passage in the Bible, and I don't remember the exact scripture, but it says, be careful how you treat someone that falls. Now, I'm paraphrasing a lot because just as hard as they fell, you can fall too. So don't judge people. There's going to be a time and place where we all fall. We all do. Yes, we do. I fell. But is there going to be someone that's going to be gentle enough to guide you back so you don't stay out of Christianity or whatever you believe in? So if I'm human and you're human, then we're no higher than each other. It's like another quote that I read yesterday from my book. If we all bleed red, right? Why is it that we think we're so different? I don't care the color of my skin, darkness, lightness, it doesn't matter. We all have the same color blood. So we are pretty much the same. We need to get these little misconceptions of, oh, well, this person is that, or whatever. I'm more jealous because this person has better education than me. No, life experiences determine how educated you are. It's nice to have degrees, but if you are a fool, who wants to be around a fool? Nobody. Last thing I checked, I don't want to be around a fool. I can't stand them. I can't. So what are you guys gonna do? Are you writing your? Are you planning your vision boards? Have you written one? Do you know even how to write a vision board? I tell you, this is very simple. You can get a big piece of paper. You can get pictures or just words, whatever. Put them all over. Look at them every day. Remind yourself why you want to do it and how it's going to help somebody. And there you go. Keep the plan alive. Same thing. Have your daily tasks that you want to do, your weekly, your monthly, your yearly. Then where is it that we'll have time to stress about anything? When you are living life. Because up until the point where you begin to live life, you're just living and running with the flow, running with the mill of things, and just doing what everybody else does, running in the same circle. But now when you jump off that wheel, it gets colorful. There you go. Update it. I have I have a piece of paper that I write on every day of goals that I want. Some things are part of my vision board, other things, whatever. But it's nice to look at it every day and just look at it and meditate on it every day and pray about it, whatever you believe again. Um, just to see that every day. And some things happen faster than others. That's just the truth. I'm talking from experience. So what I'm saying to you is not something that I can't uh something that I can relate to because it's something that's actually happened. You don't believe me? Give it a try. That's all I can say. Just give it a try. You have no idea what can happen when you give life a chance. Look at the kids. Let's start inspiring these kids. Like I have a clothing company and one of the I have onesies, right? So one of the onesies says my future is bright. We throw our babies in the mirror so much. You don't think that they remember what those images are and what they mean because you speak it to them? Do you not think that babies probably are a little bit smarter than us? And they're just trying to communicate with us, but because we don't communicate with them well, they have to scream and holler because that's the only way we'll get their attention or they'll get our attention. Come on, man. Don't fall short on these kids. They know what they're doing. We're the ones that might need to, get a little training. They train us. Okay, I'm hungry now. So in order for me to be hungry and for you to know I'm hungry, I gotta scream. Fine, I'm gonna scream. It's amazing. You just gotta sit time sometimes just sit down and think about things. You have no idea. There you go. Journal is the same thing as being having a vision board. And when you look at your journal every day, start looking at how some of the things that you've journaled, how they've actually already come true or are in the process of coming true. Pay attention to those things too, you know? Pay attention. Life is way too short. And I know that's a cliche thing to say, but it really is. It really is. How you spend your day and time, especially with the people you care about or are friends with, whatever, whoever, whatever relationship you have, make sure that it is beautiful. Make sure that you're utilizing that time well because when we get old, what do we have? Because the money's gone by the time you're a senior citizen, right? Because somebody else is caring for you and overtaking your financial obligations because they have the checkbook now. You're the living will, right? They're your living will. So you'll just have those memories. And then if you're lucky, you may not have Alzheimer's and you'll get to die with those memories. That's living. What will you remember? Memories that you're creating now. Like I'm going to remember our conversation for a long time. I'm going to remember today how it turned out amazing, even though I had such a trying morning. What you could absolutely say was a trying morning. But it to me, I thought it was beautiful because of how everything synchronized. I was just like, this is great. you know? These are memories I'll never forget. I even called my friend after work. I was like, hey girl, did you get your car? She's like, I got my car. I'm good now. And we were just laughing about how this happened. I take the turnpike every day for the last 10 years and only the local roads once in a blue moon. And this was my blue moon. And it turned out to be right where I needed to be. So don't ever take for granted of the little nuances of life or what we consider things that don't happen according to plan. Because maybe that's really what was the plan and you just weren't open enough to receive it. When you go in for your procedure, you have no idea who you might need to see that you can encourage. Or you never know, someone might encourage you. You may encourage your doctor, you may encourage the nurses. So, yeah, is it difficult to go through, a procedure and to think about it? Absolutely. But all of the potential things that could come out of it, you have no idea. You never know. If you have to stay overnight, you may end up staying overnight with a superstar and then you guys connecting. Who knows? Strange things happen all the time. But it's how we handle those strange things, those occurrences. Do we allow it to make things great? Or do we just look at it face value and be like, you know what? I'm not feeling this. And just miss all of the inner blessings that could have been happening or inner blessings that you're overlooking. We are little gifts to each other. How you give your gift is up to you. Because when you give a gift, you always receive something. It may be from that person or maybe from other places. It may be from a song that you hear, a song that you may write, or something that you create. You have no idea. But our potential as human beings is great, but we only operate at the lowest point. When can we start operating higher? Where negativity or violence and all this stuff, doesn't happen as much because we're too focused on helping to build each other up. Hey, aromatic suds. You guys should check her out. She has some great videos about soap making. I always want to dance to her videos because the music is always great. Girl, you need a lot more subs. Your lives are my favorite. Oh, thank you. I do. Um, but our potential, guys, is through the limit. And I believe when you're operating that high, there is no competition because we're all trying to help each other. Like I don't know if you all know about Nipsey Hussle, but when he died, everybody wanted to elevate. Now, how long that's going to stay and how long that elevation will last depends on how we keep feeding it, right? So, yes, while we're all excited and happy now, what will you do afterwards? Will you continue or will you just let it be something momentary, something that happened in a moment? Because that's not what that's not what we're about. Be the difference is not about momentary things. It's about life changes in a better way. Because if it could happen for me, because you know, I don't want to walk in anyone's shoes. I doubt whether anybody can walk in my shoes. I know I can't walk in anyone else's shoes because these shoes were made for walking. Nah, but I'm just saying, I appreciate my life. I'm thankful for the things that I've gone through. I'm thankful for the things that I've survived from. And mind you, I haven't had too many difficult things in my life. But who but knowing me, maybe I can't handle much more. You know what I mean? So like when you come across somebody that may have not gone through so many bad things in life, you have no idea. They may not be strong enough. So throwing that kind of yoke on them and wishing that kind of harm on them because you're jealous of them can only break them down. Whatever area you're weak in, someone is stronger. And when you're stronger in an area that someone else is weak in, that's when you come in and help lift them up. That's the purpose of us being humans and being in this world together. And I think let me stop saying I believe once we start operating that way, you won't have to worry about being in competition with someone else. You'll have more gratitude, you'll have more empathy, more compassion. You will want to meet somebody's needs. Our potential is great. I believe that. And do I believe that there are some rotten people in the world? Absolutely. But I believe the percentage is this much compared to the rest of us. So those rotten people can either fall in line or they can go to their own island. It's been too long that we've allowed one person, because literally it's always been just one person who's changed the tide of millions of people. And it's usually in a negative way. But here we are, millions of people who want positive things, but we allow one person. That makes no sense. It's time for us to stop allowing life to go, to start living life, to start appreciating things. However much you have or little, appreciate it. Because if you have a little, I guarantee if you appreciate what you have that's a little, you will be rewarded with more. And it doesn't have to necessarily be monetary things, but it could be life experiences that you could never have imagined could happen to you. How about happiness? I could use a little more happiness every day. Give me $100, that's fine. But if I can have a happy experience with other people, I'm in the money, literally. Because that $100 is going to get spent quickly. But that life experience will last me forever. Remember, guys, to like, subscribe, share, Turn on your notification bell so when I am on Hello World, you will see. You can always chime in on the chat if you want to call in. The numbers are down below. The description is down below. If you have any comments, suggestions, please do so. If you ever want to call in live with me, I'll be more than happy to do so. We can always talk about everything and anything because that's what Hello World is all about. We're about healing, progressing our lives to a better place, and also just being the best people that we could be by helping each other out. There's nothing more in this life more valuable than to love and to be loved and to have love. And until you experience real love, you don't know what you're missing. So until tomorrow, I'm here every night between 7 and 9. Thank you for tuning in for Hello World. I'm so grateful that you are here. Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time. And I appreciate, don't ever think that it's not unwanted or unthought of, because I realize we all take time out of our busy schedule to be here. And I really appreciate that. You have no idea. And I really, really am thankful for all of our comments, our talks, our suggestions. Like, we are raising each other up. You know what I mean? And we're doing it from the roots. See, because when the root is good, the tree is going to produce great fruit, right? And that's what we're doing for each other. We're watering each other. That's what Hello World is all about. Some days it's going to be fun comic stuff. Other days it'll be deep like today. I think I'm going to talk about the chip soon because I think that's a very interesting topic. But until tomorrow, guys, thank you for tuning in. I love you guys. Have a great night and be good. Have a great week. Have a great experience. Have a great day. And the rest of your evening, be encouraged to be blessed. Hello.